Alright, so today you will be completing the same activity that we're doing in class, but you'll just be doing it on your own in a different location. Remember, our focus for today's activity is being able to cite evidence from our text when we are supporting our analysis of the characters and the character traits in our novel. So I said these are the things that we're going to be doing in this order. So we're going to identify character traits, cite evidence from the text, use Play-Doh to create a symbol that represents that character trait, and then unfortunately you won't be able to share with our group in class, but you can still show me later on during pride time what you came up with. Okay? And at any time, if you need to refer back to this slide to see the steps, you are more than welcome to rewind and pause the video. So I really quickly want to go through an example with you of what this should look like. So for Justice Strauss, step one, we need to identify a character trait. Now remember, you can use the character trait PDF that's on Google Classroom to help you identify different character traits, but I have chosen for Justice Strauss that she is dependable. All right, and I also explained why. So make sure that you do this on your paper. You explain why you chose this character trait. So Justice Strauss is dependable because she is always there to help the Baudelaire orphans when they need it. Okay, so I give you the character trait and I give you a little explanation why. So now step two, I need to cite evidence from the text to support my answer. So I'm going to go into the book and find a directly quoted piece of evidence that supports this. Okay, I found on page 33, it states, well, why don't you come next door to my house, Justice Strauss said, and find a cookbook that pleases you. So you can see how this evidence supports our trait dependable. If someone's dependable, they're always there to help. She is offering that they come next door and grab a cookbook to help them make dinner for Count Olaf. Okay, so that's what you're doing. So you can see that this evidence supports our answer. So the next step is using Play-Doh to create a symbol to represent that character trait. So you have a little jar of Play-Doh. You can still do this activity, this part, even if you're in a different location. So take some time, when you're at this step to think of a symbol to represent your character trait. I chose a hand to represent my character trait because if someone's dependable, that means you can rely on them in good times and bad. I chose a hand to symbolize this because someone who is dependable will not hesitate to lend a hand or help out. So that's kind of my justification for why I chose a hand. Okay, so you can see how you're finding something to symbolize this trait. Okay, so now you're going to be doing this. Unfortunately, you're going to be doing this on your own. If you two want to do this together, you can, or you can choose to do it by yourself. But same thing, you're going to be going through these same 4 steps with Violet. You're going to identify a character trait, cite evidence, use Play-Doh, and then you guys can share together if you'd like. Just a reminder of character traits, when we're trying to make a symbol, you don't want to just pick something that tells you a little bit about the character, like for example a soccer ball because they like soccer. That would be a poor symbol. That's not representing the character trait. A broken chain, however, is a strong symbol because it's symbolizing that someone's untrustworthy, they break your trust, things like that. A broken chain would symbolize that. Okay, so ignore the time. Like I said, you guys kind of working on your own or together if you'd like to identify a character trait for Violet, cite evidence from the text to support your character trait, then use Play-Doh to create your symbol. All right, you're going to be doing all of this on this paper. You've seen I've put the example for Justice Strauss up here that you can refer to. You're going to be putting yours down here for Violet. Now, this italicized portion of my symbol, you do not have to write that. That's where I'm going to be walking around to the groups in class to kind of ask why they're choosing that symbol. Since you won't be in the class period, I suggest maybe you write it on the back or just come see me during pride time to kind of explain the symbol that you chose for Violet. So that's where you're going to be marking your answer there, and then as soon as you're done with Violet, you can move on to your next character, which is your choice. You can choose Count Olaf, Klaus, or Mr. Poe. So pick one of them. Then on your paper down here, it's kind of hard to see, it kind of cuts it off, but you'll write the character choice there, and then you'll complete that same process. Okay. Now, if you do finish early, make sure you check over your answers because you will be turning this in, and I'll be grading your choice character. If you have more time left in class and you finish early, you can create another symbol for one of the other characters you didn't choose, or you can go ahead and continue reading for our novel. Okay? Make sure if you have any questions, rewatch this video, and I will check in with you during pride time.